up, y'all? It's Monday today again and welcome back to my channel. So I'm not gonna front, this is gonna be a video talking about the current situation in America right now, and by America I mean the United States. It happens everywhere around the world, but it most predominantly happens from my knowledge in the States. I'm not about promoting myself right now. I'm just really want to talk about the things that I strive to achieve in my lifetime. Content warning, like a formal discretion. This video will be about the police brutality and murders that have been happening lately in the society that is the United States. I'm not about promoting myself right now. Plus I want to keep this video relatively short. That way I can post it on IGTV if I can even like figure out how to edit it in a way that can fit on Instagram. But anyways, if you want to subscribe to my channel, go ahead, but this is not about that right now. I'm just kind of using my platform, as small as it is in comparison to other YouTubers. I do have 350 subscribers now. That's a lot. That's a certain percentage that I can maybe influence in the world, wherever you might be, to think the way I think, to speak the way I speak, to seek justice the way I seek it. And I may be a shy person in real life where sometimes I just don't want to act, but I am very vocal when it comes to like my acknowledgement of the privilege that I have. And for somebody who has been surrounded with not only black folks but also a mixture of like whites, Hispanic, Asians, Caribbeans, African Americans, Africans in general, Europeans, you know, somebody who has been surrounded by a plethora of colors, textures, sizes, I'm very upset with what's going on in the world right now, with what's going on in America. Not that this is a surprise to anybody, especially for the black community. You guys have been seeing this for many centuries now. It's kind of sad that in 2020 this is still going on, and as somebody who has majority people who are non-white as her friends, as her colleagues, I want to show my support. And to be honest, it kind of just sucks to see how we're not progressing. It's incredible to see the lack of hope that black people have now adopted, because this has been going on for so long. Like what's there to hope for? And I just want to say I'm so sorry, first of all, for what my people have always done to you. I'm sorry that the world has never been in your favor. I'm sorry as a white person for what other white people have done to you, for what other people have done to your families, for how the institutionalized system has been made for and by white people, and you guys have not benefited from that whatsoever. I, as a white looking or white standing, what's it called? I'm not like white by ethnicity or whatever, but I am white because of like my shade of color, by my ancestors and everything like that. I am Hispanic, but I believe it's called white passing. But me being a non-black person, I just want to say I don't condone what's going on to people who look like Beyonce, like Martin Luther King, like Ahmaud Arbery, like George Floyd, Rihanna. All these people have been suffering for so many decades. This is not just their fight. I've been saying for a while now, for all my Instagram followers, you guys know I'm a huge believer in justice and anti-discrimination. I am not somebody who just passively lets these things happen by staying quiet, because that just makes me a bystander. I am somebody who is now very fucking tired, and I'm sorry for cussing, but this is something that I'm very passionate about. I'm very tired of seeing people who look like close friends of mine be terrorized, be murdered, be assaulted simply because of their skin color. And you best believe that if that same behavior was being seen by somebody who looks like me, that person would not be shot, that person would not be assaulted. If they are detained, they are literally put in handcuffs, and that's it. They're not put a knee against their neck to stop breathing. I'll read you guys what I posted on Instagram based on this whole situation, which upsets me dearly, and I have received a lot of feedback on it, positive feedback at that, but I just want to read it to you guys quickly, something that I posted on my story. After posting several videos of how blacks are treated for minor crimes versus heavily armed white folks getting up in the face of police and everything and not getting the same treatment as somebody who is forging a check, for example, after posting all those videos, I said, how much more do you need? The system is broken, and it favors the white man. Acknowledge the privilege you carry and which you are allowing to take some lives away and not others based on skin color, instead of based on a justice system trying to correct criminal/threatening behavior for all. The system is broken. Take away their badges. And it's actually disappointing how many of you with larger platforms than the common person aren't speaking up about this. This is your fight as much as it is theirs, if you even give a damn about your black friends. It doesn't make you racist, but it sure as hell makes you nothing but a bystander. Standing up for something you believe in isn't uncomfortable unless you're uncomfortable with the response you'll receive later. Cut those ties if people disagree with you. They're okay with the murder of a whole ass culture. You shouldn't be. hashtag Black Lives Matter. At this point, this is not the fight of black people alone. They have been doing it for many centuries, and now the huge majority of the problem is because us white people, I don't identify as this group, but me as a white person, I belong to the class of people who have received privilege and have benefited from the privilege that this country has systematically done to benefit only us and exclude the black people or brown people and immigrants in general, but particularly the darker you are, unfortunately, you are seen as less human. So for somebody who sees the exhaustion being expressed by the black community and the lack of hope, I feel like we should come together with them, and we have to come together with them and do our part. You know, start conversations. As uncomfortable as it makes you feel, unfortunately, people don't give a shit about being recorded anymore. I was watching Danny DMC's live that she posted on her Instagram, and as somebody who looks like me and thinks like me in terms of Black Lives Matter, and Black lives are beautiful, black souls are so incredible, and they're no different, they're no inferior than the white souls that you see every day. And she said it perfectly. Mourn with black people. This is a time of mourning for everyone, especially those who not only are black, but those who even give a fuck about the black culture. This is a time to be apologetic, because even though you are not the one stepping on somebody's neck, you benefit from the system. You benefit from privilege. You benefit from being able to walk up to a cop and be like, I don't think what you're doing is right, get off this guy's neck. But if you had been black and done the exact same thing, even though you are not at all being feisty or aggressive, you would have probably been pepper sprayed, shot, murdered on the spot, broad daylight. And like what Danny DMC was saying is that people don't care that they're being filmed anymore. People have cell phones everywhere. Cops have body cams, you know, dashboard cams for their cop cars and everything. They don't care. For somebody who is in charge of a whole police station and a whole judicial system, you would think that they would be spoken to about like, hey, listen guys, cameras are on us, eyes are more on us than ever before because of these tactics that have been caught on camera. Please be more careful, please be more discreet about the things that you do. Don't pull out a weapon unless you do all these steps, and if your life is really being threatened, that's when you can pull out your gun, your taser, your whatever. They don't give a shit. They really don't. As somebody who is not as educated as I could be on the history of slavery or the history of black culture and everything, I am somebody who mainly grew up with non-whites as my friends, as my colleagues. As a chubby girl, we all know how much bullying can happen, yet guess who never bullied me in my life? Not that I was heavily bullied anyways, but never did I ever get remarks from the black community, from the brown community. This is your fight as much as it is theirs. And just to put it into perspective, I have always been known as the night rider in my school. Even before I knew I was a night rider, I was always called the night rider. And if you don't know what a night rider is, it's essentially a girl who only goes for black folks as a dating partner. Black folks are like mixed, whatever. Even before I knew that, I just had a love for the black community, the brown community, the mixed community, Caribbean, African, whatever you want to call it, Hispanics. We come in all shades and all sizes and all kind of textures with our hair, with our skin, with everything. And I think that you don't have to be a night rider in order to, you know, stand up for what you believe in. And what I believe in is that this is enough. And I'm using a small platform that I have, which is YouTube / Instagram. In comparison to other people, I don't have that many followers, but I feel like this is important. So no matter if I even influence just one person, 20 people to have these kind of conversations with their family members if they are white and with their black folks to check in on them, I feel like this is super important. As somebody who has a black boyfriend, has many black friends, has a godson who is black, his parents are black, I don't know how much more you want me to stress the importance that this is to me, because if random people on the street are getting shot, mainly in America, but this happens in Toronto as well, if black people are getting killed for no reason, if black people are being detained over things that are super minor in comparison to the crimes that white people do and get away with, such as mass shootings that have been happening for decades in the States, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. If people are just getting shot just because of their skin color, and I am heavily affected by the people around me who are black, who says that it's not going to be my boyfriend next? Who says that it's not going to be my godson getting bullied in school more than his white schoolmates for doing less than what they're doing to him? He could be pushed and shoved. He could just say something and he's the one getting bullied. I'm not about it, and I'm tired of it. I'm super tired of it, and I'm gonna wrap this up now because I can't. Privilege is invisible to those who have it, and I am fortunate enough that I recognize my privilege. I am apologetic about the privilege that I have. And it's not about not seeing colors. It's not about living in a colorless world. It's not about, I don't see race. I don't see color. Everybody's equal. Everybody lives in one race, which is the human race. That's not the problem. I see that you are brown. I see that you are yellow. I see that you are pink. I see that you have freckles. I see that you have textured C4 hair. I see that you are fat. I see that you are skinny. Just like I see all these things. It's not about treating everybody equal, but it's about giving the resources that people deserve to those who need it. And right now, it's not about not seeing color. It may not be against you, just like it's not against me, but I benefit from the system, from the white made for the white system that does not give a fuck about black communities, does not give a fuck about minorities, does not give a fuck about anybody who does not look like me. Realize your privilege, acknowledge your privilege, and use your power as a white person to go out there and make a difference, make an influence, make a stupid ass YouTube video to kind of raise awareness about the problem. Honestly, rest in peace to all those who have been murdered, because that's what it is. It's not a mishap because somebody just, you know, happened to pull out their gun when they thought their life was being threatened by a black man who happened to also be carrying a knife. It's not that. People are being murdered for no reason. And even if there is a reason to detain that person, they're being treated in such inhumane ways. And, you know, just like I did back in 2014. You guys remember that video about I Can't Breathe with Garner? Look at that, 6 years later, happening again. Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Garner, George Floyd. These are just the names that are coming into my head right now. But obviously there have been way many more, and obviously for reasons that we'll never see as white people. I could literally be pulling out like my keys. As a black person, I get shot. As a white person, I get told like, oh, please put your hands up where we can see them. I don't like it. And for the judicial system, for those in charge of the RCMP, for those in charge of all forces that are meant to serve and protect the people, please include black people in your policy. You don't have to be a black officer to care about black civilians. Please do your part. Educate your potential police officers of the future. Please go through more extensive measures where you can actually, you know, see who's racist, and not only racist passively, but an active fucking racist. All these minor discriminations happen all the time. For all those white girls who happen to be silent during these times and not speaking up about the issue, yet you love black dick. And I know that's very out there, that's very strong and intensely worded, but that's all some of you white girls are for. You would spread your legs wide open and bust this pussy open for a black dick, but you would never speak up about these issues. And I'm sorry that's very in your face kind of thing, but that's what I've been seeing. I'm literally one of the very few of the people on my Instagram, for both my followers and the people who I follow, I am one of the very few who are speaking up about this, because I don't like black men just because of dating potential or whatever. Black lives are beautiful. Black lives matter. And black lives are being taken away from us because of their skin color. And again, it's not about seeing the world kind of like a gray canvas. No, there are differences in complexion. And those complexion differences are beautiful. Whether you have freckles, whether you have melanin, non-melanin, whether you're albino, whether you're mixed, yellow, pink, you know, there's so many beautiful things about skin color, but that beauty is taken away when only one is maltreated and treated way less fairly than everybody else. Like I said, use your privilege, use your power as a white person to try to make change and educate yourself in things. Reach out to your black friends and your black colleagues and your black family members. Make sure that they're okay, because it's a time of mourning for them. As a white person, like I was saying earlier, I am super sorry to all the black folks who may be watching this about the system. I'm sorry that although I did not make the system, I do benefit from it, and just recognize that I am truly sorry, and there are people like me who hear you, see you, stand by you, and want to see the best for you as well. And I fight for the difference that I want to see in the world. So anyways, that's about it, y'all. Like I said, if you want to follow me, go ahead. If you want to subscribe, go ahead. I'm not about promoting myself right now. This is just a very sad and dark times for the world, and I hope that everybody's staying safe, staying sane. Use this time to kind of educate yourself in what's going on in the world and try to make the difference. But catch you guys later in the next video, and honestly, God bless to all of you guys. Hashtag Black Lives Matter as usual, and Dios me los bendiga. Maritoria out.